Hello everyone, and welcome to From the Heart Friday, session 190 with me, Jessica Brigden of Jess B, Creative Cardiology. Hello, happy Friday to you. So I was originally going to share some fun fold cards with you, and I still am, but with a little twist because the mail person delivered my paper pumpkin kit already this month. And I was super excited because that way I'm able to share it with you before I head out of town to attend Stampin' Up's backstage leadership event next week. So if you've got yours, then go ahead and grab it and craft along with me. And if you don't have yours yet, then there's a sneak peek. And hopefully I'll give you some fun tips and tricks on ways you can not only create these projects quickly and beautifully, but also do some fun alternate projects as well. So this month's theme is meaningful flowers. All right, and the sneak peek that they gave us ahead of time with the meaningful flowers had to do with water lilies and forget-me-nots. Two very, very different flowers. A little unusual, I think, for August, since I do consider those to be more spring flowers. But nonetheless, I think it's going to be a beautiful kit, and I'm excited to share that with you. Hi, Nessa. How are you? Glad to have you join me. I realize it's been a couple weeks since I have done a Friday video. We were at a conference a couple weeks ago, and then last Friday, my cousin and her son and my niece and my mom, and we had kids' pool party all afternoon here at Aunt Jessie's house. And so I guess I have been otherwise occupied on Fridays. So this is a fun treat to be here with you. Let me go ahead and flip the camera and we can get started creating these awesome projects. Okay, so here we go. Snap everything into place. All right, so I still have my host code out here for August, QQ77QKTW. All right, so literally just, what, not even 2 weeks left of the month of August. This summer is flying by. All right, if you haven't redeemed your bonus days coupons that you earned by placing an order in July, then make sure you cash those in. All right, place your August order and use those coupons. All right, we don't want you to lose out on free money. Yeah, so, and then we also have the Kits Collection sale going on. Kits Collection is different than Paper Pumpkin. The Kits Collection lives in the Stampin' Up! Online store, and you can actually see the full contents of each kit. It ranges from tags to different kinds of cards. There is an organizer binder kit. There is a magnetic board kit. We got all kinds of fun stuff in the Kits Collection, and they start at just $9 now with the sale. $9 right up to $20, so fabulous deals because they're all 10 to 30% off. All right, so check that out. And then Paper Pumpkin here. So I was excited. My kit arrived pretty early. Now I unfolded the beautiful tissue paper. I always love the pool party tissue paper that they slip package everything in, but I have not opened the kit contents yet, so I just wanted to, I couldn't resist. I had to take a peek when the kit arrived. All right, so I see on here we have a pretty peacock ink spot. Love that color, so I'm excited for that. Set that aside. Now our stamp set here, let's see if I can put something behind it to show you. So we do have the forget-me-nots, and we've got a lily pad, some sentiments that say you are capable of amazing things, you rise above the rest, and your friendship is unforgettable. All right, so very nice. And then this is the bonus stamp set. The August kit here included a second stamp set. This one is a bonus. This is the water lilies, a small and a large flower, and the stem. And what's unique about these, you'll notice the stamps look a little bit different. So this is your traditional line art. These stamps are actually part of Stampin' Up's Reversibles collection, meaning they're a little bit thicker, and you can stamp but the back of the stamp with the flat part, and then you can actually go over it with the more detailed part. So I'll share some tips on that. All right, so we got our stamp sets here, and then gorgeous kit. I always love to see what it's going to be, because they give us a pretty generous sneak peek this time around, but they don't ever give the whole thing away. So we'll open our kit here. All right, so lots of goodies tucked inside here. We've got our tear and tape and a little bit of twine. Hi, Polly. Hello, hello. Did you get your kit yet? All right, we've got some dimensionals, and it looks like just little like water droplet dots on here. Oh, these are quite pretty. I love this watercolor water lily design, and it looks like this is Orchid Oasis for our card base. Okay, so these go like this. So there is 4 of those. Oh, even the envelopes have pretty designs on them. Okay, so these are the 4 water lily envelopes. And then we have our 4 forget-me-not envelopes here. Now these, oh, this is kind of a fun fold here. Oh, good, you just got your kit yesterday. Yes, wow, you've designed 24 alternates. Oh my goodness, well, hopefully I can show you something that you haven't already designed. So what is unique about these cards is they do have a little sentiment here on the back of the card, telling the meaning of the flowers, hence the Meaningful Flowers kit. All right, so those are really cool. Okay, and then some little sentiment labels. Ooh, some fun water lily, or excuse me, these are the forget-me-not die cuts, and these are the water lily die cuts. I like those. Now these are unique. These are like an Orchid Opulence vellum with the lily pads. Okay, save my chipboard. Always need that for something. Okay, so hence our instructions, and it says that the colors in this kit are Bubble Bath, Crushed Curry, Garden Green, Melon Mambo, Misty Moonlight, Orchid Oasis, Pretty Peacock, and Tahitian Tide. So some really beautiful colors here. All right, so let's get started. I like to always start with traditional cards as designed here so that I can see how Stampin' Up! Intended the kit to go, and then do my own thing. Okay, so open our instructions here. We're going to start with our Forget-Me-Not card. Now this one reads that forget-me-not flower means love, devotion, and memories. Small and delicate, forget-me-nots remind us to never forget the people we love. Whether you give someone these sky blue flowers with yellow centers, it represents a promise that you will always remember them. It also represents your hope that they will always remember you. Aw. All right, very sweet. So we are going to, looks like this is a fun fold. So I'm going to just fold that right over. How cute is that, having this little garden fun fold flap here? All right, and we need one of our die cut pieces. These are quite pretty. And a label. Okay. And a little bit of twine. Okay, so this card looks like it's pretty easy to put together. The sentiment we'll be using is is that your friendship is unforgettable, to go along with our forget-me-not. Okay, so we'll get our sentiment ready. Okay. All right. Had a couple of blocks handy. Let's see what I did with them. All right, got my block ready. Now I do have my full-size Pretty Peacock ink pad here, and so I'll be using that today. Okay, so we'll go ahead, stamp our sentiment onto our label, and then it looks like we're going to use some dimensionals for popping our flower inside, and that's about it. Very quick and easy. All right, let me make sure I get that fully inked. It's a great thing about photopolymer is that if you're missing a section, you can see exactly where. Okay, so we have our sentiment piece. We're going to use a couple of these dimensionals on the back. Okay, then in the center, we're going to put a little bow with some twine, but since I've got the dimensionals out, let's put a few on our forget-me-not die cuts too. Okay, and then our twine here. Find the end. That's always the hard part, right? Okay. So a little bit of tear and tape. This is skinny little tear and tape. You can see it's a bit narrower than our other. This is 1/8, and that comes in our usual tear and tape is 1/4, 1 1/4 there. So put a little bit of tear and tape in the center here. This is going to hold our bow in place. So let's go ahead and tie that. We'll just pull the ends together here to make our first loop, go around, poke through the center, and then adjust it until we get it how we want it. Okay. All right, so let me move the backing here. Let's trim our twine. Okay, so we're going to just tuck this right in here so the loops peak above the top. All right. Oops. Oh, it's upside down. Guess I should have checked that first. All right, good thing I didn't put it down too secure. There we go. That looks better. All right, so our forget-me-not bouquet here is going to go inside our card, growing up from the grass, kind of peeks behind this fun little door. All right, and then this is the little surprise piece on the inside, this little sentiment piece. So it sneaks behind our fold, and there you have it. Isn't that cute? Now, I think we should probably have, no, maybe they didn't put any little gems on this one. All right, well, you can decorate it if you like, but that is very simply card number 1. Okay, that didn't take any time at all. All right, so we'll set that right up here. Now, card number 2 is the water lily card. And so for this one, of course, we'll need one of our water lilies. Okay. And our sentiment here, we are going to use, you are capable of amazing things. All right. All right, swap that one out. Now our sentiment is going to go on the lily pad itself. So that's kind of cool. Okay, let's see here. And I notice it does fit right around the petals of the flower, which is good. Okay. And then it looks like for this card, we also need one of these vellum pieces, and they're having us attached. So you can tell this, the front side, the right side up is darker and the back side is more muted. So we're going to put some of the tear and tape here onto the vellum. So we'll go right along the outside edges. Okay, and then across the bottom. All right, so this one got a little long, but that's okay. We'll just trim that off. And this is going to go, peel these off. we go. Okay. I'm just going to fold that up. Okay, nobody will even notice. All right, so this goes along the bottom of our kind of our designer series paper piece here, right along the front. So notice we didn't tape the top, so it actually creates a little pocket, which is kind of cute. Fun little pocket in here, and kind of tuck it in. There you go. Isn't that cool? And then if you want to pop this up, you could put some dimensionals on the back. Otherwise, you could glue it flat. It's totally up to you. Just make sure that your card opens properly. Okay. So we'll put a handful of these on here. I'm going to do 6. The Stampin' Up! Instructions only say 5, but I want to make sure my card stays secure. So we'll go ahead and put 6 on here. And then here we go, right in the center. That's really cute. And we got our fun little gems here. Let's check out somewhere I had some snips. Let me get my take your pick tool out. I'm going to swap out my paper piercer for the spatula end. Hi Terry, how are you? Sometimes the tracking is a little bit behind because I know mine was tracked that it had left Stampin' Up! And been picked up by, I think, UPS or something, whoever their carrier is. And then it just kind of went MIA for about 4 days or so. And then it was picked up by the Postal Service. So I was shocked when mine came already. So hopefully yours will show up very soon. Okay. Yes, I know, Nessa, you can't get these outside the US and Canada. However, I do have something I wanted to share with you. And if you've been around Stampin' Up! For a while, then you might recognize some of this. But a few years ago, I'm trying to see if I could find I don't have the date. Maybe one of you remembers. We had a 12 by 12 pack of Perennial Essence Designer Series paper, and we had a celebration offering that was a water lily stamp set. And there was even a coordinating set of dies with it. So I just happened to have an extra pack of the Perennial Essence. I believe there was even a second paper pack with the water lilies, even more so, because it was a celebration offering. And that was several years ago. But if you're like me and you hoard everything, then you might have some. I know my room looks even worse since I've been starting to go through things. I have uncovered some things I forgot I had. That's always fun. But I'm kind of making a mess of the rest as I try to get organized. It's interesting. I read on a forum the other day, somebody asked, why is it that people, sell off their Stampin' Up! And things? And I'm like, well, I have been stamping and using Stampin' Up! Products for over 20 years. I'll be celebrating my 17-year Stampiversary as a demonstrator next Tuesday, August 22nd. And I have a very tiny house, a very small craft room. And as much as I love all of it, I don't have room to keep all of it. So every time we have a new catalog come through, I pick out my favorites and then go through. I love autumn. So for example, there's a new autumn leaf stamp set that's coming out in the upcoming mini catalog here in September. But I have a couple of previous leaf sets, so I can't hang on to all of them. I have to figure out which one is my favorite and then let the others go. But that's me, because I'm working it as a business too, so I don't usually show things that they aren't currently available, because if I show you something and you want it, then if you can't get it, it's just frustrating, right? So that is why we tend to cycle through a little bit, but I still have quite the stash. So if any of you are looking for anything, please reach out and let me know, because chances are I might have it in my 17-year plus stash of goodies. Just like I had some of this Perennial Essence Designer Series paper. And I'm excited because I have enough that I'm actually able to send a sample to each of my paper pumpkin subscribers this month. All right, so one of the perks of being one of my paper pumpkin subscribers is I try to send little goodies now and then. You never know what you might get. So I do have some extra. So if you'd like one, let me know. I do have an extra Meaningful Flowers kit, as well as some extra samplers here of the Perennial Essence Designer Series paper. But let me go ahead and add some of our little jewels to these flowers. So we're going to take, we've got small and large here. And I notice sometimes these are kind of hard to get off the sheet. So we're going to just kind of put these here and there, wherever. We're going to put some on the flower itself. And then we'll put a couple little ones on the, oh, these different little lilies that are floating around. Let's do a little trio here. Okay, so we got quite a few. There you go. All right, super cute, huh? Isn't that fun? All right, so that's the 2 cards as designed by Stamp It Up. The kit makes 8, so a total of 4 of each. All right, they do give us a few alternate project ideas, and so for that I do have my trimmer handy and some extra cardstock. You never know what I might need here. Okay, so this time we're going to mix and match. We're going to take the water lily card base. This time we're going to turn it landscape, so make sure it opens properly. And then we're going to mix that with one of our forget-me-not card fronts, and we're going to trim the front off of this. So we're going to just pop this in here at the 4 1/4 mark and get our scoring blade out of the way, and use the cutting blade to just trim that right off. Okay, and we will kind of pop this up on here. We can stamp some extra little forget-me-nots with our stamp. Is that cute? All right, let's see here. Just grab a block, and I'm going to go with some Orchid Oasis ink. Now, I think I had an ink pad underneath all of this chaos here. All right, so we're going to start, kind of visualize where you want this to go. All right, so we're going to stamp here, and we're going to do them peeking out from behind the grass. All right, so make sure nothing is there behind it. Okay, so we're going to stamp it 3 or 4 times. Just kind of go, kind of cascade down the hill here. Okay. Yeah, I think that's good. All right. And then come in, add dimensionals to the back of our little bouquet here. Let's put a bunch. And don't forget, you can trim the edge pieces too, so that you get even more out of your dimensional sheet. Okay. All right, let's see here. Stick this in the middle. All right, cute. Then we'll grab a tag, a little sentiment label here. And this time, maybe we'll add the We can go with the, do I want to do the unforgettable? I might go with You Rise Above the Rest. Isn't that cute? You could put anything on here, but let's go with this for right now. Okay. And again, I'm going to stamp this with my Orchid Opulence. Orchid Oasis. I did that on my video on Tuesday as well, and somebody caught me. I kept calling it Orchid Opulence, and I'm sorry, but when the names are so the colors are very different, but the names are so similar, and when you have been around Stampin' Up! For over 20 years, that's a lot of color. And yeah, the name sounds so familiar. Orchid Opulence was actually more of a, I'd say it was more similar to like Fresh Freesia. It was a pinkier color. And Orchid Oasis is definitely more of a bluish purple here. All right, so we've got this. Let's grab a little bit of twine. And this time we'll do what I kind of call my bird's nest. Just stick the end down and then start to loop things around. Oops, here we go. Loop it around here and there, and you can do different things. I kind of let the twine just do its own thing. All right, but then it kind of peeks out, and there we go. Okay, isn't that cute? Again, very simple, but very pretty. These colors are lots of fun here. Okay, so let me see what else I can come up here with. I did want to show you guys, especially since we've got this little piece. Oops, here we go. This little piece left over. All right, I thought it would be cute to do an actual pocket card. So again, I'm going to cut my flowers off of the front. All right, so the easiest way to do that is line your left corner of your card base up at the 4 1/4 mark. Okay, and then just trim that right down. Okay, so this time I'm going to come in with the tear and tape. And just like the water lily card, we're going to put it around the outside edges. In this case, the straight edges. Okay. But it's sticky stuff. It does not want to let go. There we go. Okay. All right, so gently remove, come on, just the top part here. Okay. All right, I don't want that little adhesive sticking out the end, so I'm going to tuck that in the corner. Okay, so I'm going to center this on the front of my card here. All right, so this creates my pocket. So I need something to tuck down in the center. And I think I'm going to save that. So let's just use some basic white cardstock. Okay, so make sure I've got some basic white out here. I've always got some scraps and things to use, and I do have my Stampin' Cut and Emboss mini machine, and always I gotta have some great die cuts. So I'm using the scalloped contours, and I think that one would fit. Well, that one would go too. So let's see here, which size. Either of these will work through the Stampin' Cut and Emboss. So let me hang on to the smaller one. I'm going to go with the larger size here, and we'll make a little pocket a little insert here for our card. Now, our plates are only 3.5 inches wide, so I do need to trim one of these down just a little bit so that we can actually fit it through the machine. Okay. All right, so let's just double check that. I'm gonna cut this down to size here. Just trim it at 5, and then here we go at 3.5. Okay. So now that should work. Get my tools out of the way. Bring in my mini machine. All right, so we're doing base number 1, okay? And then clear plate number 2. Remember to stagger them a little bit. Then put our cardstock on and our die. Okay. And then second clear plate number 2. All right, and then we'll run this through. Apologize for the shaking there for a brief minute. Okay, there we go. But now I have this beautiful insert. Okay. Okay, so fun little pocket that will slip down in here. And let's just see, do I want to use, could use our flower, or we do have some in bunch of these die cuts, so maybe we'll do that. Okay, in which case I'm going to take just a little bit of this tear and tape and go right up the center of this die cut. Let's do a second little piece too, going up the additional flower. Okay, so then that will mount right here on the front. We'll put it right here in the center. I like that. And then we've got a super cute little pocket card. Okay, and it just pulls out, or you can slide it in from the left, but fits in there nicely. Okay, so it's just a cute little pocket. What do you guys think? I thought that was kind of fun. Alrighty, so we could do the same thing, since again we're just sticking very simple. Go with the same die cut here. Let's cut a second one. Oh, it would be great for giving seeds, Nessa. That's a great idea, like a little seed packet pocket. See, it's so great for spring. Okay, I'm going to cut my basic white down to 3.5 inches wide again, so that it will fit through my mini machine. But pocket cards are so much fun to make, whether you have them in a paper pumpkin kit or not. But again, it can be as easy as putting on like a partial panel and just creating something to tuck inside it. A couple other ways you could do that. I'm getting a little sidetracked here as my brain is working, but even a card like this where you've got your Orchid Oasis panel. All right, you could create a little, I was thinking we could do a little pocket card on that, but I don't want it to be upside down, so we'll have to figure something out. But what you could do technically is, if you have a card that's 4 1/4 by 11 and you folded it there at the 5.5 inch mark, then just fold down this little like 1-inch strip and create a little pocket, and then just seal the edges. So that's another quick and easy way you could do something like that. Let's see here. Let's go with this. Okay. And again, you could go with your Orchid Oasis base. Okay, if you wanted to and you had some additional paper, you could, create a little background here, or just keep it super simple. Mount that on the front. I mean, how quick and easy is that? Let's just go ahead and put that together. I'm going to use just a little bit of my Stamp and Seal here. We'll go right on the front. Put our dimensionals on this. Okay. So technically you probably want to bring in some Orchid Oasis cardstock, because otherwise if they flip this over, they're going to see lotus flower on the back when we have forget-me-nots here. So that doesn't always make a lot of sense there. So be careful which one you're using. Okay, let's see here. Yeah, add a little sentiment down here on the bottom. Again, pulling in my Orchid Oasis. This would make a cute little thank you card, or I think Nessa mentioned these would work cute for wedding cards too. All right, and then I like these little dots, so we could always add some of these, even though they're clear. Kind of give a cute little effect on here. Let's see here. Oops. Just put little ones here and there around your flowers. Okay, isn't that cute? Very, very simple. If you wanted to, we could dress up the, all right, here's the end of my twine. Let's put a little bow on this. And what you could even do is tuck it through and tie it right around. Just make sure you give yourself enough to work with here. Okay. So tie your knot, make your first loop, go around, then pull through the middle. Okay. There we go. Then let's adjust these loops to normal size. We don't need them super huge. All right, let's trim these off a little bit. All right, and then you could come in with a little glue dot underneath. Even use your spatula from your take your pick tool here, so that you can place it right underneath your bow. All right, so that it doesn't wiggle around on you. That's cute. It's cute with a little bow. Very nice. Yes. Oh, that's a cute idea. So Nessa was saying if you use the seed packets and gifted it as a gift, wedding or anniversary, then they could grow their own flowers for the years to come. Very cute. Great idea. All right, let's see here. I wanted to show you guys some of the things that you could do with these reversible stamps too. All right, these fun water lilies. So let's bring in some basic white. Let's just stamp some of these so we can kind of see what we're working with first. Okay, so we've got two sizes, the small and the large. Okay, so what we're going to do first, let me find my blocks here. Okay, so let's go ahead. Let's start with, wipe that on my jeans. Okay, start with our largest one. And let's see, do I have my bubble bath ink handy? I've got some berry burst there. I wonder what I did with my bubble bath. That might be out on my other table where I was working. I was trying to go with these coordinating colors. So we've got some Melon Mambo here, and that I do have. So, you know, we're gonna go with a little bit of Flirty Flamingo instead of the bubble bath. This would be a little bit darker, but we're gonna do, you know, we could do Puddle Pink. That would go. That's just a little bit lighter even. It'll give you the idea. So you take your back of your image, all right, so almost like you've got your stamp wrong side up on the block. All right, you might want to stamp this off gently on something if you have a lot of excess ink there, and then stamp it onto your cardstock. Okay, so it gives you something that doesn't look so great. It's kind of the mottled color behind it, but then when you flip it over on your block and you use your second color, your darker color, ink that back up and then go over it. All right, how cool is that? So it gives you two-tone a little bit there, and we can trim it out, but it's a lot of fun because you've got your different images there. Okay, you can do the same thing with the smaller one. Okay, you can always ink up with lighter color. Again, definitely stamp off some of that excess ink there. Okay, then flip it over, ink it up on your darker color. All right, and then you have your pretty detail. If you want to just do it on its own without anything. Okay, it is a very pretty stamp. Okay, let's see, put that back on my block and ink some of this up so we can just stamp a bunch of flowers there. All right, so you can see how those look. And then I think we're gonna need some lily pads too. All right, so that lily pad image comes on the other sheet of stamps. Okay. And for that, let's go ahead and let's do the garden green. Okay, let's see. Got some garden green handy. Okay, so it is helpful just to have a sheet of scrap here so you can stamp some extra images if you like. And then, all right, there we go. Got these all over the place. Okay, so then you can cut these out if you want. Create additional flowers to go on your projects. I'm going to trim this out, that way it's a little bit easier to work with. Smaller piece here. So I'm curious to see what y'all do with your paper pumpkin stamps here. So many different directions you can go with this. And like I said before, if you don't have paper pumpkin, but perhaps you have some of the older and it's not really that old, it's just a few years ago. The Stampin' Up! If you have the Water Lilies stamp set. And the paper, those were from Celebration a few years ago. Okay, let's trim some of this out so we can, I kind of like the two-tone one, but I do like it trimmed. But it's more subtle than if you were to color the image with your Stampin' Blends or something. The stamp here is the, what do they call it? The photo special design, so like the photorealistic here. Okay. And we need a couple of large ones and some lily pads too. So I think with these, actually, you know what? I have my punch handy. I was thinking that, hey, look at that. I mean, you might not want them perfectly oval, but how about that? If you have the double oval punch, the little lily pad fits perfectly in the oval punch. All right, let me trim these out first so I don't get the other one. I'm gonna have to stamp the other one again so I can get this one in here. Okay, so I got two good ones. I'll have to stamp the other. All right, but hey, that's a handy find. So your oval punch will work on the lily pad. Okay, always a good thing when there's a punch. All right, let's see here. These, I think we could do something fun and put these on our Orchid Oasis card base here. They came with our kit. Okay, so let me finish fussy cutting these a little bit, because I do feel like they are prettier when they're cut out, but okay. All right. See, they are pretty. Okay. And then these need to be like sponged with a little bit of ink or something. Let's see here. We could go with a lighter color. Or just come off the edges here with our garden green. Let's see. Use my blending brush that's got a little bit of green on it here, and come off the edges, and then just gently go over those to add a little bit of color to it. And just make sure you start off the cardstock so it doesn't get too dark on there. Okay, blend that in. And let's see here. Grab card base. Try to see how I want to do that. Let's add some twine, kind of going around it a little bit. All right. sure I get 2 ends here so that I can tie a bow. That's what I was thinking. I'll tie a bow onto this water lily, and then I can always adjust it. Slide this around as I need to. Again, twine often has a mind of its own until you make it behave. Okay, so let's see here. Put this under there. Let's pop some of these up with some dimensionals. Okay. And I think we want to use a lighter one too. A little one, excuse me. All right, we're definitely going to use a, actually that's kind of cute. I think it's cute with just one. What do you guys think? I almost like it with just one large flower there. Maybe I'll save that one for later because this kind of nestles among those lily pads very nicely. Let's take our little glue dot so we can get this bow to stay put. All right, there we go. Now it's where it should be. I'll just trim that off a little bit. Okay. Yeah, I think that's cute. I'm gonna just do that, and I'm gonna glue this one down flat. I like to put a little bit of adhesive on each side of the twine when you tie it around. That way it doesn't slip around anymore either. Again, make sure you're going in the right direction here. Okay, it's really cute. Then you could put another, you could put a sentiment piece down here, or you could just stamp directly onto your card base here. I think I'll do that. Let's put that on here. Take off the lily pad. All right, wipe off some of that excess ink. Okay. And then we're going to come in with our pretty peacock again. All right, here we go. Okay. Yeah, I think that looks nice just like that. Keep it very simple. All right. And then that goes along with, here's our little droplets. I'm gonna put them anywhere. Okay. Yeah, so I got little water droplets around. Actually, that's one of my favorites. I like that. All right. Very cute. So much to do. I actually need to get to the post office before it closes. So I'm going to have to wind down the fun, even though we have more projects to play with. So I have to leave you with your creative juices flowing there, and see what else we can come up with as we play. But nonetheless, I think we've given you a good idea. We have our fun, meaningful flowers paper pumpkin kit, and then we did manage to make a few alternates here. Okay. All right, aren't those cute? So I hope you've enjoyed today's video. Polly, I can't wait to see all the projects that you make as well. Thank you guys so much for joining me here on a Friday afternoon. Have a great weekend, and I look forward to stamping with you soon. Might be a little, I'm not sure if I'm going to be able to squeeze in a video on Monday rather than Tuesday or not. Next week's a little mixed up with some travel to, like I said, to Stampin' Up's backstage leadership event. But I'll have some little video clips and keep you posted of what's going on. So make sure you like, subscribe, and follow my page. And I've got links as well in the description. Sign up for my newsletter. You can also catch on what's going on my blog, justbecreativecardiology.com. It's a tongue twister there. And even my Just Be Creative Cardiology Facebook page too. All right, thank you guys so much. Take care, happy stamping, and have a good one. We'll see you soon. Bye-bye.